Hello everyone, welcome to IGL sketching class number 5. In this class we are going to learn about light source and what impact does it have on an object. So for you to understand, I'm using the bust of a Buddha for you to understand this concept, and I'm also using a movable light source. So this is the head, or this is the object which I'm using for you to understand, and I have a movable light source. So right now, as you might see, I've kept the light source on the left side of the object. So just take a look at it where the shadows fall, and if you are sketching this object and you need to darken these areas where the shadows fall, so it makes the sketch really realistic. It makes the sketch realistic. So, and this is light source on the left hand side. So I'm just moving the light source towards the front. So right now it is in the front. So once the light source is in the front, you might see the differences. The shadows, all of the shadows fall on the back side of the object or behind the object. But then if you take a good look at it, you can see the highlighted areas. This means that your light source is in front of the object. So moving on the light source towards the right. So if it is in the right side of the object, see, if it is in the right side of the object, the shadows fall on the left hand side. So based on what height your light source is, or where you keep the light source, if I'm moving the light source from top to bottom, so the shadows also move. So you need to keep this in mind where the light source is before you make any realistic sketch of an object or of a person. You need to keep this in mind. Where is your light source? If it is in daylight, where is the sunlight coming from? And where is it falling on the object, and what all shadows it is creating. So you need to keep that in mind before you start sketching. And based on the intensity of the light source, you will have a darker shadow, you'll have a lighter shadow. You see, you'll have a and when you have multiple light source, you have two different shadows. If let me see whether I can find the secondary light source. I can use my mobile. So as you see here, I'm using a secondary light source as well. You see there is a combination of the two light sources, and also this is because the light source is of a different tone, that you see a little bit yellowish color, but what you can see is you see two shadows here and here. So you can also sketch the object based on the shadows that created by the two light sources. So it depends on, always keep that in mind, that where the light source is and where it is coming from, so in order to make a sketch of a realistic object. So moving on, and this time I'm going to move the light source to the top of the object. So here you see the light is falling on the object, and it is creating shadows just like this. You see these areas, but the major shadow is falling little bit behind, because that is where I'm holding my light. If I move it on to here, see, there is very low light, and it is the reflection of the light that is falling on the face of the Buddha, and it is not so intense, but the tone of the shading will be varied in all these areas. If I move it a little bit closer, see, you see the difference. You need to keep that in mind. And the last possibility is the light source on the bottom. So let me try to explain that. I don't know how much of it can be successful. Yeah. So yes, So this is light source in the bottom. So if you keep it like this, if the light source is coming from the bottom, and if the it is falling on the objects, and this is how the shadow is. See, based on where you keep and how the light source falls, it varies. You always keep this in mind. You need to take a note of where the shadows fall before you make a real-time sketching of an object. So and how you make a real-time sketching is that just keep the light. Right now I'm doing it in a dark room. Basically I have turned off all the other lights and I'm just using the light source only. So what I would do is that you remember the grid maker which I told you the last in the last class. So take a picture of it, take a picture of the object with the light source, and you just convert that in the grid maker into a black and white picture. There you go, then you get the reference sketching to make a pencil drawing. So that's it for class number 5, and do get back to me for any doubts if you have, and thank you so much.